Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this latest episode of the Employee Baltimore Show. I'm your host, Marvin McKinstry Jr. I'm a workforce supervisor with the Mayor's Office of Employment Development in the wonderful Employer Services Division, where we become an H extension to your HR department with your business, making sure that Baltimore City residents have access to all of the wonderful opportunities as we're seeing Baltimore grow and grow and grow. Today, we have an amazing show for you with two excellent employers that have real, live, and active opportunities available for you. We're going to be talking about some security positions and some postal positions. But before we get to any of that, I always got to shout out the lady behind the scenes is making all the magic happen. One of the best producers in the world, Miss Katanya Lester. Thank you for all that you do. Put a little something in the comments and put it on the screen so that the people can just say hi to the folks or something. Run across the streamer. You do so much and yet sit behind the screens and make it look like I'm out here getting all the glory. But she's amazing, y'all. All right, all right, all right. We got a couple of things preliminarily that we want to talk about. Y'all know how we do here in Baltimore. We like to lift up what's going on. Y'all see the picture behind me. I know before y'all even start. I know we wasn't in the Super Bowl. I know. I'm glad the Cincinnati Bengals didn't win. There's some people who felt like because they're from our division that they was rooting for them. Not me. You are the enemy always, right? The Rams won, but the reason I got this picture up behind me because the young guy is out already working with the receivers. He's out throwing passes, getting ready for this season. This next season coming up, y'all. Listen, I don't think training camp starts till maybe around August. And the young fella, the young man is out there already getting in tune, getting geared up, getting ready. I'm a diehard Raven fan. I should have wore a purple shirt today or something. I bleed purple. So the Super Bowl was what it was. But guess what? The Ravens coming back in 2022 and coming back strong. And this is what's prompting our people's poll question today. I need y'all to get in the comments, like, love, and share this broadcast. But as you do, I need you to comment, and we're going to try to see if we can settle this. The last few weeks, I've been coming up on the short end. Last week, I was on the crab cake side, and the steamed crab side had a little bit more thunder, right? But this week, while watching the Super Bowl, I got into a little discrepancy with somebody about the flats. They wanted the flats. We was eating wings. Give me them flats. You can have them flats. So I posted on Facebook, drums are better than flats. Flat out. I will take the drum over the flat. So I need y'all to jump in the comments. Let me know if you're a drum person or a flat person on the wing tip. You can even put in there what your favorite flavor is. I'm an Old Bay guy. I don't like wet wings, so you can keep the honey Old Bay and all that. But I need you to get in the comment section and to tell me, are you a person that when you go to America's Best, you saying I want all flats? If you a person, if you cooking at the house, you that person is trying to hog up the flats, you can have them. Y'all heard that? My mother just walked past and she hollered flats. All right, all right, all right. The C.I.E.R is coming to Baltimore, y'all. We are getting closer and closer and closer. We want everybody to get geared up and ready. There's going to be a whole lot that's happening. Of course, see, Katanya, she with me. We starting off good today, and yes, I keep score. That's 2-0 for the drums. So if y'all people that like flats don't get in the comments and say nothing, this one gonna be easy. We are gearing up for the C.I.E.R. It's coming to Baltimore. It's been here for a couple of years, but last year had to be virtual due to the pandemic. This year it's going to be in person, and they have a lot of amazing, amazing things that's going to happen. If you have young people that you coaching, you teaching, you want to get them involved in this because there's going to be resources, networking opportunities, and a whole bunch of stuff for people who get connected. They're also looking for volunteers. They're looking for volunteers to help support the effort. And then, of course, we also have the what the C.I.E.R is all about. We got the basketball tournament that's going to be here. That's right. Some of the finest historically black colleges and universities here competing for that C.I.E.R championship. So we want everybody to come out and take part. It's going to be, we had the date up there and I missed it. Can we bring it back? Y'all know I put my mistakes on the air so you can't talk about me. February 22nd through the 26th, right here in our beloved Baltimore. Most of the activities taking place in downtown. I think you know what I might want to do next week, Katanya. Actually, put the footprint up on the screen again. We had the footprint. If we can get that information from our partners at the C.I.E.R, so that we can float it out there, get it up on the screen so people can see. Most of it's hovering around the Baltimore Arena, the convention center. But listen, you're not going to want to miss this. You're going to want to be a part of this. Likewise, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, all of our centers are opening to the public as of Tuesday. Our staff has been back. We had to do another little shutdown because Omicron was acting like it owned something out here in these streets, y'all. It was doing too much. And we had to make sure that we put safety first, but we are open. We, of course, have our young adult center down at the Westside Youth Opportunity Center, and we have all of our adult centers that will be open for full services as of Tuesday. Y'all know Monday is a holiday. It's a day off, a day to kick back and relax, a day to travel. I don't know what you're going to do with yours. With mine, I'm going to probably just sit back. But we want you to come into the center to receive services, even if you're a service provider. So say like if you're a service provider and you working with youth on something other than jobs and GEDs, then we want you to come over to the Westside Youth Opportunity Center and connect them to that, to those services. Our Mondawmin Center, which specializes in working with folks who are returning citizens, reentry work. That's not all they do up there. I always had to stress to people, even though that's the place that specializes in reentry, that's not the only thing that they do up there. All right. Then we got our East Side Career Center, which is known as one of our premier American job centers. You want to get in there because that is one of our state of the art centers. Is where we pilot a lot of new programs, a lot of new opportunities, and we have amazing people over there ready to serve you. We have our Employment Connection Center that's down in South Baltimore. That's in what's called the Casino Impact area. It is set up specifically to serve that South Baltimore corridor and the businesses that are down there. Businesses like RobNet and Second Chance, and businesses that have been around Baltimore forever. And of course, the Horseshoe Casino. So we want you to come and see them down there. We also have the community job hubs. One is at Bon Secours down on Fulton Avenue. One is up on Frederick Avenue. My brother's keeper, and then there's Getco over on York Road. We are everywhere, and we want you to come in and be a part and partake of the services. The great sir, I sound like the pastor that time. Partake of the services that we have available at all of our centers. There, of course, is our you can't vote for both. You gotta pick a side. There's our workforce reception center, which is over on 23rd Street, but that's a referral only center. You can't really walk in there for services. But I still didn't want to leave them out. And out of all of these centers, we have our amazing business services team right there waiting to connect you with employment opportunities. All right, the last thing I want to talk to y'all about. There's preferably flats, but I'm a big boy. I just like chicken. That's my guy, y'all. He one of our guests today. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up under the flats, man. You sold us out. Come on, Andrew. Come on through, brother. Come on through. All right, but we gonna talk about it when you get on the screen, Darnell. Unemployment, man. Listen, unemployment ain't texting you. It's that simple. You getting a text talking about you got some money and unemployment, hit this link. Don't be so thirsty and hungry that you hit the link, y'all. It's what's called a phishing scam. They trying to get all up in your business and all of that. If you get a text from unemployment, they are not sending out text messages. Don't respond, okay? Don't respond. They scamming people, and that scam can cost you a lot of money, identity theft, and a whole bunch of other stuff that, trust me, you do not want to have happen. All right, all right, all right, y'all. Right at the 10-minute mark where I like to be. And we are about to get to what you really come here for. I need y'all to like, love, and share this broadcast. Again, like, love, and share this broadcast because I'm doing it right now myself. I'm going on right now myself. And I'm making sure that I'm putting it out there because we have real active employment opportunities and we want people to be able to partake of it, right? And everybody know, I don't know about you when I was young, but all of my older family members was always looking for that good government job. They want to work for the government. I understand why now because I've had the pleasure of working for city government for 16 years. And we have a representative of one of those good government jobs here right now. When I first began to hear about the issues that they were having with recruitment versus what they had to offer and some of the concessions that they've made, I said, y'all have one problem. People simply do not know that y'all have changed things the way that y'all change things. Because when you think about this organization, the first thing you think is you got to be the most clean cut person in the world. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on our wonderful guest to talk about opportunities at the United States Postal Service, Miss Diana Faison, one of their amazing recruiters. How you doing, Diana?
Hello, everyone. How are y'all?
So, Diana, talk to us a little bit about what's happening over there at the United States Postal Service right now.
Currently, we are always currently hiring. Always. When I say always, always. So please go online and apply and do not go on these sites that do not USPS. If it's a site that say you have to pay for it, it's not the USPS. Please always go to USPS.com/careers. We have courier jobs, we have mail handlers jobs, which is in-house, PSC jobs, which is in-house, and a PSG sales, which is also at the stations. Automotive, if you like working on cars, if you like driving tractor trailers, we have it all. If you want to, when you get in house and you become a regular, you can be a supervisor, you can be a manager, you can be whatever. The skies is the limit. So please come over here, and skies is the limit here.
So you guys, I was surprised to find out. I know the last time that I talked to you all, there was a need for like 180 something letter carriers, which was just amazing to me because you guys offer a really good salary. Is that number still around that 180 or so number? And talk to the people about that good money y'all offering.
Yes, the number is even higher. It's now up to like 200. So we're always currently hiring. And the
Wow.
good money is, yes, and the money is 18.92, which is more than the $15. It's pretty much $19, which is really good. You get time off, you get leave. So say you need a full birthday party, you have time that you can accumulate to be off for birthday parties, New Year's, just whatever. So you can take advantage of that. And you get paid every 2 weeks. Never no problem with your paycheck. If it is, you can talk to your manager, but it's never a problem. It's good money, and eventually, when you turn regular, you have good benefits, which mean you'll rest in your retirement, 401k. You need that other than just your Social Security. You can be a millionaire in a 401k.
So y'all heard it right here. She is saying that they have not only the $19 an hour, which if you do the calculation comes out to about $38,000 a year to start, which is way above minimum wage. They also are offering benefits. Y'all know the government don't play about the benefits. We talking about paid time off, amazing health care, and all of those kinds of things. And we really want you to lock into it. One of the things that stood out to me when you guys, when I met with you guys, is that you have made some concessions in your hiring and onboarding process, specifically around the drug screening. Is that still happening?
Yes, there's no drug screening, which don't mean that you don't go come to work high, but but no, there's no drug screening, no drug screening. But please come to work conscious and but no, there is no drug screening. Yes, we did get away with that.
Well, let me tell you something. Listen. There's no drug screening, but you saw them smelling like weed, looking like you're high. You just created another drug screening because they ain't even gonna look at you. But we are talking about a federal government opportunity where they're not doing the pre-screen, and we're seeing the world pretty much go to this model where they're moving away from drug screening. In some places, it's just marijuana. I'm surprised to know that you guys aren't doing drug screening at all. That's a surprise to me, but it's an amazing thing because listen, y'all, I think we've learned some things as we see this progression in the conversations around drug screening. Things are being legalized. That's legalized. It's already been decriminalized. But I like what she said. That does not mean show up unprepared or incapable of performing your duties. How can somebody get in touch with you, Diana. And what do you tell them? Give them that website again and all that sort of thing. Okay, I see it. We coming through Miss Catania Lester, but I'ma still let you talk to the people.
Yeah, so again, yes, please, USPS.com/careers, and definitely send your emails to Miss Lester at oedworks.com, and please apply at USPS.com/careers and only USPS.com. Do not pay for it. If you have to pay, it's not USPS.com.
Diana, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing these opportunities. You talked about the fact that you guys have in-house and the outside, so it's not just letter carrier positions. Can we just talk about that one more time a little bit, just kind of separate, so people can hear the difference in the opportunities that you have, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let you go for the day.
Okay, yeah. So again, when you go online and you see something that says CCA, that's for couriers. That's driving the postal vehicle, doing door-to-door services, smiling to your customers, giving them that good interaction. When you see MHA, which is a mail handler assistance, that's in-house. You could be unloading trucks. You could be sorting mail on a machine. As a PSC, that's postal support, that's also in house as well, but you'll be on a machine primarily and sorting the mail to the different zones for the couriers. So, again, if you see PSC, that's sorting mail on a machine for couriers. If you see MHA, that's driving the postal support, that's also in house. If you like forklift, you can drive the forklift. If you like unloading trucks, you can unload trucks. If you like carrying mail and giving people good customer service, doing door-to-door delivery, you could be a courier, and that's CCA.
Well, Diana, I want to thank you
If
so much for being with us. I
you
do want to let
also see
everybody.
automotive
Okay.
technician, if you like working on cars.
No, excuse me. You had froze up, and I didn't know you were still talking. Talk to the people. Come on.
Oh, no, I was saying if you just like working on cars, if you see automotive technician, please apply because they're always looking for automotive technicians. Even if you know anything about a screwdriver and a hammer, please. They don't get enough people for that. So if you know anything about a screwdriver and a hammer, come on over.
I'm glad that you went into that level of detail because what I think happens a lot of times is we don't think about all of those. When we think mail or USPS, the most we thinking about is the people that are out carrying letters. But there's a whole operation that goes on to make sure that we can get our mail in a timely fashion that covers a lot of things. So I'm really glad that you touched on all of those things. I want to say thank you to Ms. Diana Faison for being with us today. You brought a lot of great information. Is there anything that you want to say to the people in closing?
I would say thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate y'all, and we really need y'all hard workers out there in Baltimore. Come on over, please. We need y'all hard work. We need the morale that you bring, this the energy that you bring. Bring it over here to the United States Postal Service. Thank you for having me on.
Y'all heard her. Go get that good government job. Stop sitting and listen. I'm gonna try to tell you it's a whole nother world because I think that when we only think about work in the context of people who are not working, you got to break that. If you've been at that same warehouse making that same, hopefully $15 an hour for the last 4 or 5 years, and now there's so many changes to the provisions and the parameters in the United States Postal Service, a lot of that in-house work operates just like a warehouse. We got to broaden our perspective, y'all. We got to rethink the post office. They need you if you're good at working on cars. They need you if you're good at working on machines or working with machines. If you got warehouse experience, they got something for you. If you want to get out there and you want to truck up and down the street and make sure that I get my mail on time, more power to you. But I want you to apply because they are great opportunities. HTTPS // USPS.com /careers to look at the opportunities that are available. Then we want you to email your resume to Miss C. Lester at oedworks.com so we can get you connected to these great opportunities. In March, we're going to be hosting an event that's going to center around the United States Postal Service's jobs. So you want to get connected to the Mayor's Office of Employment Development so that we can connect you to the opportunities that are at the United States Postal Service. You ain't never alone, y'all. Y'all with us. We got you. We gonna pick you up. We gonna ride, and we gonna make sure that you get connected. Diana, thank you again for being with us today. It's been amazing talking with you. I'm sure we're gonna get a chance to chat again.
Thank y'all for having me.
It's amazing having you. All right, y'all. With that being said, we got some people in the comments, and one of the young ladies did remind me that our YouthWorks application is up, open, and available. If you are a Baltimore City resident between the ages of 14 and 21, and you're looking for something to do for the summer, but I got some bad news for you, Ma Warner. The county, if you're not a Baltimore City resident, we can't help you. I don't know, and I've never known, and I've been doing workforce development for a long time, that the county has a program like this for young people. I know some people try to fugazi the system and try to get in it, but don't let me find out. You don't want to live in my city, you can't have my city resources. I don't even care if it's for the young people. This is for Baltimore City residents, y'all. Let's get that application in. And if you're looking for a job, go on our website, which is Baltimore City youthworks.oed, but go on baltimorecity.gov/MOED. We have some positions to work for YouthWorks. Not a youth job, but there's a whole team of people that come together every year to make sure that that massive system that's serving 10 to 12,000 young people annually works. We got positions for supervisors, for assessment staff, for all of that. Like if you have not had the opportunity to apply, please go on and apply. My Warner, connect your young people. You live in the city, get connected to us. We got some great opportunities for the youth. And don't forget, we are still looking for people to work for YouthWorks, not in youth roles, but in the support roles that make the program work. I'm especially excited about this industry because this is a brother that I've known a really, really long time. Always known him to be a great man, a man of integrity. And y'all know I'm not ashamed about it. Y'all know I'm a pastor in the Lord's church. This is a man of God who has brought godly integrity to his business, right? He's a great, great guy, and I'm excited to talk to him today because he's talking about one of the fields that I love. Before I got into workforce development, and even as I've been in workforce development, I've been blessed to have my own security company and to do work around security, and I always advocate for it because one of the things that security has done, it's allowed me to give opportunities to young black men to change their perception of uniform services. Y'all know in that space where the police and all that kind of stuff has happened, where we don't look favorable, having uniformed opportunities has led some people who otherwise wouldn't have looked into the police department where we need them. We need our own so we can change the dynamic. I'm talking about a great brother, a great man of integrity, and a man who is serious about this security business from C.I.E.R. Security, the Operations and Human Resources Manager himself, Mr. Darnell Trusty. What's up, Big D? I call him Big D. That's my guy. What's up, man?
Ain't too much. What's happening, man?
Man, I'm excited to have you on here, man. One of the most understated industries out there right now is security because we know historically some people have not done it right. I remember being young and working in security, not getting paid on time and all that kind of stuff, getting stuck at work sites. But because of people like you and the organization that you work in, you guys have really taken it to another level with the professionalism and all that sort of thing. And I first want to say it's great that you guys have done that, but tell people a little bit about what your company and what you got going on.
All right. Well, the company is C.I.E.R Security and Protection Agency, and our goal here is to change the perception and the view of security services. We offer an array of services from armed security, unarmed security, uniform patrols, plainclothes security, and we also do career advancement for those who are in the security field or have a desire to get into security. And when I say career advancement opportunities, We offer training, everything from firearms training to less than lethal weapons training. And we not only train security officers, but we also train civilians. One of the things that we take pride in is uh, the look, the presentation of our company, everything from our uniforms to the patrol vehicles to the background checks that we've began to incorporate when it comes to hiring people. Again, because we're trying to change the narrative of not just security officers, but uniformed personnel by making sure that we integrate community policing into all the areas that we work.
Well, that's one of the areas I definitely want to talk about with you, man, because I like to talk about and touch on the purpose driven aspect of the work that a lot of our businesses are doing here in Baltimore. And you guys are on the ground in some of the communities that's being hardest hit by crime. First of all, that takes some courage, but it really takes some commitment. And I've seen you guys doing this work contributing to changing the narratives in community. How important is it and purposeful is it from the company aspect or hearing it from somebody that's a major part of the company that you guys are in those communities, in those places, making a difference?
It is extremely imperative, primarily because we've seen, especially in the city, a lot of the people who end up working for, say, the Baltimore City Police Department, they don't look like us. They don't live with us. They're not from where we're from. I'm from the hood, Old York and Cater area, but I chose my destiny. So I decided to be on this side of the fence. And what we do is we try to make sure that when we work in these areas, we're not just there trying to control people's lives, but we want them to feel comfortable. One of the properties that we patrolled was a very hostile area, and our security officers were armed, full duty uniform and everything, but had no issue getting out there throwing the ball with the neighborhood kids and things that you kind of let them know that we weren't there to kind of run and ruin their lives, but we were actually there for them. I mean, everything from community cookouts and all kinds of stuff. So one of the things that our leadership takes pride in is that ability to reach out to communities and do things in communities. We're not just about the bottom line dollar. We're about the perception that's being given and shown when it comes to security enforcement.
One of the things that you talked about that I know is really important too, because it's one of those things that really go understated in security a lot of time is career advancement, and being able to take your life to the next level while still in the security industry. And like I said, a lot of my experience goes back to being old school with security. But when you're a company that have a focus on that, talk to the people a little bit about some of the process that a person may go through to come in the door and to find themselves at different points and opportunities for advancement.
All right. So unlike many security companies, a lot of security companies want you to have X amount of experience, X amount of years of experience. But how can you get that experience if no one is willing to give you that experience? So one thing we take pride in is we have some projects that we work. And when I say projects, I mean contracts that we work, not necessarily housing areas, but we have certain contracts that we're on that don't require a lot of security experience. So it allows us the flexibility to give people or allow people to work to get that experience. So we hold entry level positions, and we're also working on some other contracts that will require people that have more experience. So where the career advancement comes into play, an officer who started with us, say 6 months ago, and came to us straight from, say, let's say Walmart, no security experience. We helped them get their security guard certification license. We put them on a security contract. They began to learn the business. Now they've decided to take the next step to becoming an armed security officer. They were able to work armed, and now some of these contracts that we're working on, they'll be able to transition into those positions where there'll be better paying positions, and there'll be positions that will require more experience. But because we afforded them the opportunity to gain that entry level experience, they'll be prepared and able to elevate into more experience. We have some officers with us who we were sad to see go, but we were proud to see where we were able to help them develop. We have one right now that's in the academy for Baltimore County Police. We have a couple that have gone to Baltimore City Police, and we don't mind being someone's stepping stone to a greater them.
Man, listen, you are one of the easiest interviews that I've ever had because you giving me the perfect segues. You talked about moving from unarmed to armed, and we know a major part of that is the training. Talk about the training opportunities that are literally these are the training opportunities on career advancing. They're life advancing because these certifications can go with you anywhere. Talk to us about the training opportunities that are offered with C.I.E.R.
All right. So here at C.I.E.R, like I said, we do all kinds. We do training on all levels. Less than lethals, which are your baton, your OC spray, and handcuffing. Then you have your lethal training, which is firearms training. We do private detective training for first aid, CPR. We literally, honestly, C.I.E.R is a one-stop shop. And when I say a one-stop shop, you can come here for a job in security, training in security, get your equipment in security. So we do the training, we do security. We're actually one of the only three black-owned FFL dealers, which is a federal firearm licensed dealer. So we sell firearms, so all of our employees and the public can get whatever they need right here. In addition to C.I.E.R Security, you have C.I.E.R Training Academy, which is headed up by Dominic Reed, who is the CEO of C.I.E.R Security. Um, in addition to C.I.E.R Training Academy, I have Trusty Training Solutions, where I also do firearms training, and I am an Axon Taser instructor. And a lot of people sleep on tasers, but for a lot of folks who are not comfortable with firearms, an actual taser, not a stun gun, is the next best thing. Um, so we have a lot that we do in this facility and in the one that I occupy for Trusty Training Solutions. So we're able to help you literally from start to finish in your security career.
Man, listen, when you say one stop shop with my security background and knowledge, I really, really want to tell the people that that is a one stop shop, y'all. And it's a great career path. You build amazing relationships. One of the things you talked about earlier is the need to be able to be friendly. Um, Talk to the people because I think when we hear security, especially armed security, the first thing that comes to mind is enforcement. Everything to do with the uniform services is enforcement. But those of us that have close experience with it, whether you've been in the field or you've encountered somebody, this field requires that you have great customer service. Talk to the people about the focus that I know C.I.E.R has on customer service.
The main thing is customer service is important because we have to remember as security officers, we're still civilians. So we're not the police. In the state of Maryland, when you're an armed security officer, you do not have arrest powers. So verbal judo is a large portion of this business. Being able to adapt and overcome obstacles, being able to relate to the people in the community, you have to be relatable. So we take pride in having that level of customer service because a lot of people, when they work in security, they forget that there's a portion that needs to be customer service. So one of the things that we teach our officers is to be firm, fair, impartial, and consistent. So that way people know what to expect from you. Another thing is our leadership recently became certified instructional designers and certified law enforcement instructors through an organization called IATLAS, the International Association of Law Enforcement Development and Training. So we're all actually certified in law enforcement instruction. So we've developed curriculums for each of the things that we teach that help us to make sure that we are teaching with a level of excellence and not just throwing people out there haphazardly, not knowing what it is they're getting into.
That's important, man, because I know when we talk about armed security, we are talking about something that gives you the opportunity to have the use or access to the use of deadly force. Because we know what society and climate that we're living in right now, where people they feel some type of way about anybody wearing a uniform. Talk to the people a little bit. If you had a armed security guard candidate right now that wanted to come and work for you, and you had the opportunity to kind of talk to them about having access to the use of lethal force, but it being a last resort, what would you tell them?
I would tell them I carry a firearm out of my house every day. my driver's license and my firearm go hand in hand. I don't leave home without either one of them. But when I walk out the door, my prayer is, Lord, never, please keep me from any situations that will require me to use this firearm. And that's the mindset that people need to have. We don't want to have the mindset, hey, I have a gun, I'll use it. We need to have the mindset of, I want to exhaust all options to not use it. One, because I don't want to have to be faced with fighting charges and things of that nature. As security officers, we are not covered by some of the same things that actual law enforcement, Maryland Police Training Commission certified officers are covered by. So while they are held to a higher standard, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. So I would encourage an armed officer who is coming in to apply for us. I always tell them, first of all, don't get so stuck on working armed, because you never want to be in a position where you have to use that firearm. Second, develop your skills, develop your craft. If you are an armed security officer, just like anything else that requires proficiency, train and practice. Me personally, I train on the range 2-3 times a week. And again, and I still hope and pray that I never get into a situation where I have to use my firearm.
That's awesome. I want to shift real quick to talk a little bit more about the dynamics of the employment opportunities that you have to offer. For your unarmed positions and your armed positions, what are people looking at in the sense of the salary range? Because I know it can vary from site to site.
Right. So one thing you'll notice when it comes to security in this region, and when I say this region, I mean the Mid-Atlantic region, unarmed security officers sometimes literally make minimum wage. One thing that we take pride in, because we've all come up and through the ranks, is we take pride in the fact that we make every attempt we can to not pay less than $15 an hour. And even at that, we have a contract where, because of the way the client, did the bidding, we have to pay slightly less than that. But we're always trying to find ways to where, even if based off of that contract we can't pay it, we can supplement from another contract to raise the pay on that contract, to make sure that our officers are sufficiently and adequately compensated for their work. So much so, when we were on the contract, we were paying one rate. But once we got in a few months, they saw we had to offer as far as equipment, uniforms, reporting software. We were able to renegotiate the contract to give those officers 50 cents more. And my plan as the operations manager is to get another couple months in and go back to them and say, okay, we've been here this amount of months. We need to pay our officers more. Now, the site they're on, it's not hard work. They're literally sitting in a booth, but they're still there in a security capacity and should be compensated. So we try to make every effort we can to not pay less than $15 an hour. And prayerfully, we'll be put in a position very soon where we'll be able to even raise that bar.
Let me tell y'all why that's important, whether it be from my past security history, workforce development background. $15 an hour is the bar that we know in the state of Maryland gives you at the entry level what we call a family sustainable wage, not a living wage, but a family sustainable wage in case you're the only breadwinner in your house. And this is unheard of. This is unheard of because security business is all about billable hours. If I'm able to bill hours for you, I just want you to be there, be in place, and I'm gonna get what I'm gonna get. You're gonna get what you're gonna get. That sounds like economic justice, y'all. Advocacy for the people that are really out there on the front lines. C.I.E.R Security is advocating for its staff to be able to have competitive, comparable salaries. So if you are considering work in this field, I would advise you to get with C.I.E.R. Career advancement, economic justified, economically justified, family sustainable wage, um, customer service, being taught, trained at the various different levels that you can be trained and moved around. It don't get much better than that. Darnell, if you was going to talk to the people and give them a final thought about why they need to come and link up with y'all, if I ain't do a good enough job of it, man, what would you tell them?
Man, I tell them, first of all, we are a company, and our management, we pride ourselves in our integrity. I believe that a man and woman, all we have at the end of the day is our word and our integrity. So if you're looking for a company that actually cares for their staff, and a company where the leadership is selfless and actually put boots to the ground with you, we don't just sit in the office and dictate. Our project manager, she's down on the site 2-3 times a week. Our deputy chief, he's down on the site 2-3 times a week. Our chief, he's constantly out in the streets. Myself, I'm on post. We make sure that we're visible to our officers and our clients to let them know that we are there for them. They're not just a number. They're not just a body. They are part of the C.I.E.R family.
Man, I want to thank you, and if I could say it to you, I guess I'm kind of like a big brother because I'm a little older. I'm proud of you, man. I watched you from the days of being down university, coming to through the ranks, to not just getting your own paycheck, but ensuring that people have opportunities that really want them. He played mean trombone too, y'all. I gotta throw that out there, man. And you really have brought those principles of integrity into an industry that has been cutthroat in the past, man. Thank you so much for joining us today. I plan to personally make some referrals because the security industry is one of those. It's one of those industries, y'all, where things kind of. If you want to go into the customer service field, you'll learn customer service at a high level working security because you may be at somebody's front desk greeting people, checking them in. It'll help you with your writing skills because you got to write reports. Like, don't sleep on it. Don't look at it just from that um, enforcement perspective because the only two jobs I've ever had has been either security or workforce development. And I tell you how I got into workforce development. I was the security officer at a place called the Poppleton Village Career Center. The company I was working for lost the contract, but I had held down the front desk all the time, right? For a long time, I held down that front desk. They came and offered me more money than I'd ever made to sit there and continue to be that person that people see when they first come in the door. It was called the Poppleton Village Career Center, and that was my jump start into um, the workforce development field that I've been in now for over 20 years. So please don't sleep on it, man. C.I.E.R is doing great things, Darnell. I'm just excited to be able to have this conversation. As I said before, I'm gonna reach out to you because we got some upcoming hiring events. To our wonderful producer in the background, is there somebody that's already working with? Because you know, in here you gotta make sure you don't step on nobody's toes. People be exclusive about those great businesses. Um, okay, so she working with Miss Lester. I'll be able to talk to Miss Lester because one of the centers that's under me is the Westside Youth Opportunity Center, and I think it would be great. And I'm gonna even petition for you to be the person that come because I want those young people to see a different image of uniform services, armed security, because sometimes they need that to break that glass ceiling on what they believe is possible for them, man. And knowing your story, the way you carry yourself, I think it would be amazing to get you in there, let those young folks see you and know that they can have a career opportunity in the security field. Thank you for being with us today. This has been a pleasure. It's been an amazing interview, man. And I look forward to connecting with you soon.
I appreciate it, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So that being said, y'all, that's all we got for you today. Y'all got in the comments. I need one more round, one more round. If you could do it real quick in the comments, if you are a drums or flats person, because right now we got three votes for drums and one vote for flats. I want to give y'all an opportunity. How long it takes to obtain a guard card? Dang, I didn't see that when they get it up on the screen. Is Donnell gone out the backstage? Can we get him back? Oh, I think he might be gone. The guard card process is one of the more simpler processes. It's normally the first one that you get um, when you Harry Barry on here. He got some information in here too. I'm not sure if he's associated with Sid and Brother Darnell and them. This is their time. But the guard card is one of the oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
got my man
I
back.
don't know what happened, man. My fault.
No, you good, man. You good. So somebody posted a question. How long does it obtain to how long does it take to obtain the guard card?
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you, with the Maryland State Police right now, with them being so backed up from COVID, I have officers who we submitted their guard cards back in like April, and we still have not received them back. However, once you submit the guard card application, a security agency can hire you to work. It literally takes their hiring department is a matter of sending an email to verify that you submitted the application and you're good to go.
All right, and you can work up until there's a rejection, right?
Exactly. But when it comes to that guard card, you can work until they say you can't work. But with the gun permit, you cannot carry that firearm until you actually get approved.
Yeah, don't. And then you got some lit, man. Look, we do got some more to talk about. Well,
Listen,
we got some more time. Talk about the limitations on where and how you can carry your fire. And I'm like him. If you come to my church, see me in the pulpit, I'm strapped, right? But I ain't here today to talk about what I know. Talk to the people about the limitations because you can't be dumb when you get this level of certification.
exactly. First thing is, I always tell folks when I teach, ignorance is no defense. The judge doesn't want to hear, oh, I didn't know, because it's your job to know. When it comes to gun owners' responsibilities are to make sure that they are up to date on their federal, state, and local gun laws. So you should be constantly training. When it comes to the gun permit, when you're working in a security capacity, there will be a restriction on the back that says you cannot carry your firearm unless you're working for a licensed security agency. And I'm trying to see if I have my work gun permit, but it must be my jacket. On the back of it is written saying that you can only carry your firearm to and from and while working for a Maryland state licensed security agency. All right. When it comes to getting your gun permit outside of that, um, I'm looking and I see a friend of mine. I shared the thing, and he's posting everything, and he can reach out to me, and I can go through that. But when it comes to work, you must have a gun permit. You have to be sponsored by an agency that you're going to work for, and all. So there are a lot of stipulations, and we can definitely assist you with that. So, for example, this is the back of the gun permit, and on the back of that gun permit, it has restrictions saying you can only carry it when working for a licensed agency. So that's very important because when you get your gun permit as like a business owner, you do not have those restrictions on that. All right. But even with not having those certain restrictions on it, there are still places that you are prohibited from carrying your firearm. So making sure that you go to a gun permit training with a reputable training establishment or training academy is important because you want to make sure that you're being given the laws. One thing we do not do, we don't just sign paperwork at C.I.E.R Training Academy or at Trusty Training Solutions. We actually teach you to make sure that you're properly equipped with the knowledge and the training because not all training includes education. Not all education includes training. So it's important that you're getting a perfect balance to make sure that you know what you're doing out here in these streets.
One of the things that happens a lot out here too is you get
Yes.
a lot of instructors that don't have that give you the impression that you're going to be able to get the firearm after you take the class. Talk a little bit more about the need to have sponsorship because I've had people come to me countless times. I took that class and then they told me I got to pay so much more money to go through somebody else to actually get my permit. Talk to the people because you guys are a one stop shop. And to me, that matters.
Right. So one of the things you want to make sure that you're asking, like you said, is sponsorship. So you can go to a firearms training class. Any certified firearms instructor can train you to be qualified to apply for the gun permit. But in order to qualify, you have to have what's called a good and substantial reason. In the state of, in the state of Maryland, one of those good and substantial reasons is employment. But in order to get it for employment, you have to be sponsored by a licensed security agency that's willing to sponsor you. So that's why you need to make sure you have a sponsor in order to get your gun permit.
Any more questions? Look, y'all, we're gonna make sure that we give you ample time to get your questions in today because this is not just a regular typical type of employment opportunity. There's a whole bunch that goes into it. So if you got any more questions, please get them in the comments. You need to be on the Baltimore City Mayor's Office of Employment Development broadcast so that we can share your comment and get these questions while we have. If you got any frequently asked questions, if you Harry Barry or somebody that knows some things that are normally relevant and help, please put it in there. And we still taking votes for drums versus flats. But if we ain't got nothing else, I'm gonna go ahead and let this great man get back to his day.
Another thing,
Um, mhm.
um, one thing that we assist with is if you come in and apply for our agency, we will still help you to get your credentials, even if something happens in the process and you end up deciding to work for another agency.
Oh, talk about that, because that chicanery has been going on for a long time, and people will hold up your guard card so that the other agency can't get it.
One thing that we don't do, unless if, even if I have to separate you from your employment with this agency, if you didn't do something that was completely and utterly wrong, I'm not going to contact the state police and yank your credentials from you. However, you will be required to have your new agency contact the state police because we're required to let them know when you no longer work from us. But we don't go snatching your stuff because we want you to have something tangible in your hand so you can still go take care of your family. I had a situation, and when we do our exit interviews, I always tell people, listen, here's some advice for your next employment opportunity. Don't do this the way you did it here. And we always wish people the best. One thing we don't do is we don't chop people down because we have it hard enough.
Man, Donnell, I just want to thank you again. All right, Harry Barry said flats, and we still winning on the drum side. But I want to thank you, man, because you truly have commuted that level of integrity that I've always known you to have over into this work, and it's something that's very much needed. If you are looking for an opportunity in the security field, which is a career, y'all. If you're looking to start a career, I would say go to C.I.E.R. We're going to get it back up on the screen. We want you to send your resume to clester@oedworks.com. Donnell, thank you again for coming on today representing
I appreciate
C.I.E.R.
it, man. We
and
appreciate
representing Trustee Training Solutions, man. You guys are doing a great, 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 great work out there and a great work in our community as frontliners changing the dynamics, because I know what it's like growing up in Lexington Terrace when you got security and it feel more like they COs than they are the security that's there to serve and keep you safe. And you guys are doing great work, man. Thank you. I'm sure we're gonna be able to have you on again, and we got plenty of great work we're gonna do in the future.
it. And I appreciate it. I truly
Thank you,
appreciate
man. All right, all right. I feel. Listen, y'all. The Catania been booking these shows and getting people on here. That's really been. I have always felt great about being able to bring opportunity to people. Like there's no greater call in my life, and I preach the gospel. I do a bunch of different stuff, but being able to offer an opportunity that can change the social economic dynamic, which is one of the greatest ways to change life for a person, is something that I love. So when you see me get excited like this, it is genuine. Thank you, Lachelle. You on the outside with the drums. But when you see me get excited like this, it's genuine because somebody watching this show today is going to be able to connect with Mr. Trusty, see security, and Trusty Training Solutions and be able. Come on, Tremaine, you messing it up. You messing us up. No, we still ahead. And I got a candidate right now that just text me back in my phone. He does security work, but they ain't treating him right. I'm gonna connect him with Mr. Trusty today through Miss Lester because I want to be able to see this brother get a greater level of opportunity. So when you see my excitement, y'all, it's genuine. It is totally genuine. I literally believe my 20 years in this field has been one of the callings that God has had on my life to be able to be a blessing to the people in the city of Baltimore. If you're in the city of Baltimore and you're looking for an employment opportunity, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is looking for you. We have a focus on economic justice so that we can make sure that while we're bridging the gap between the great businesses in the Baltimore area and the residents of the city of Baltimore, we are building a workforce development system that really works. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.